There is but one skill and one skill alone that matters in trading. Not psychology, not backtesting, not discipline, consistency, none of that shit. Those things do not matter when in comparison to this one thing. And this is the one thing that you need to train above all else. It is the only thing you have to focus on, and that's execution. It is literally the penultimate core skill in trading. And when we look at trading education, most trading education emphasizes knowledge, so strategies, indicators, the theories of market behavior. And while this information does create awareness, it does not create consistent profitability. And this is because the decisive factor is execution. Now, if you're sitting there shaking your head saying, no, those strategies, indicators, and theories and backtesting, it creates profitability. Show me the profitable traders. There's fucking none of them out there. And everybody is trying to do what everyone else has done. And they're getting the same results. And so when it comes to this execution concept, it's commonly misinterpreted as a moment of action, the pressing of buy or sell at the right time. But in reality, execution is a long process that unfolds over time, and the majority of that process consists of waiting. This is because a valid trade setup rarely appears all at once the moment you sit down at the computer. It actually develops as a sequence of conditions. A strategy may require 4 separate rules, 5 separate rules. Sorry, I got something in my eye. A strategy may require multiple sequential separate rules in order to align before the entry is permitted. And so the trader must wait for the first rule to trigger, then continue waiting for the second, wait for the third, wait for the fourth, and only when all conditions are satisfied, the trade can be executed. And the actual act of entry, of execution, requires seconds, but the process of waiting for this act of seconds for each rule may span hours or even days. And so this sequential waiting continues after the entry as well. Once a trade is placed, the trader must wait again for the price to either reach take profit or stop loss. And so each phase of the setup is governed by rules, and each phase requires patience. So execution, therefore, is not defined by one click of the mouse, but by the discipline to adhere to every rule and order without deviation over an extended period of time, aka waiting. The act of execution is enhanced by the art of waiting. And the inability to perform this act of waiting at any stage is where everybody gets everything wrong. Traders will anticipate that a rule is gonna hit before it appears. Traders are going to act before full confirmation. And this type of impatience leads to premature entries, inconsistent sizing, or trades that do not match the strategy. And by breaking this sequence, they undermine execution before the trade is even validated. And this is where traditional training methods fail to develop, because they do not develop in this capacity. Activities such as backtesting, chart review, or expanding to more currency pairs encourage that constant activity. These practices can improve recognition, but do not strengthen the ability to wait rule by rule. And as a result, traders may be familiar with patterns, but still lack the discipline to execute them correctly in live conditions. And effective trading must mirror the structure of live execution. This means practicing restraint, limiting instruments, trading only during defined sessions, and deliberately accepting periods of inactivity. And these habits condition the trader to remain aligned with the pace of the market rather than with their own impulse to act. And so execution is not active by nature. It is the capacity to wait through each state of a setup, first rule, second rule, third, and final confirmation, before you actually take action, and then to wait again as the trade resolves. So 99% of trading is just waiting. It's that simple. And traders who cannot sustain this discipline introduce errors before the entry even occurs. But traders who can wait, rule by rule, build that foundation of consistency by simply waiting.